I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of RR After Dark, the official podcast of the iRacing League Racing Revolution. This podcast, as always, is made possible by our wonderful sponsors, Chapman Environmental Services, Ultimate Siding and Gutters, Butt Kicker, and Simtrax Broadcasting. I am your host and driver of the number 14 Slurp Sodas Ford Mustang, Michael Bennett. And as always, alongside me are my co-host, Justice Murphy, driving the number 12 All About Bugs Chevy Camaro. Nicholas Alves, some would say, driver of the number 24 Coastal Financial Chevy Camaro. And Trevor Earhart, driver of the number 21 Black Rifle Coffee Company and OSR Foundation Chevy Camaro. Today we have a good one. Dover was a bitch. For some of us, others, it worked out all right. And we have a special guest again on here, as always. And I'll go ahead and get him in here. Brandon Ritchison is our special guest, driver of the number 29 Voodoo Graphics Chevy Camaro. Brandon, how you doing, man? Did you say something?
Yeah, you might want to
Yeah, I said
repeat
I'm
that.
good. How are you guys?
Okay.
Okay,
It
that's
didn't.
fine, yep.
It didn't
I was
work.
right as your
Okay.
camera came on. so-
Yeah,
I was
yep,
like,
yep.
shit, dude. All right, you don't have to talk if you don't want. All right, yeah.
Good.
How's it going, man? Good to have you, dude.
Yeah, good to be here.
Dude, it's awesome. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it. We'll give you a second to kind of go over some things you've talked about, and then or that you've brought to talk about. We'll hit Dover, and then we're gonna start looking at Kansas. Should be fun. So we'll start with you. How'd you get into iRacing?
Honestly, I got into it after COVID, which is kind of how a lot of people did. I was racing like NASCAR Heat and all that stuff on the PlayStation, and then I had a bunch of buddies. They jumped to iRacing on the PC, and me and my dad kind of made the switch, and here we are. So it's been a blast so far.
Oh yeah, I forget. Is your dad gonna make an appearance again in
You
the
know,
league?
I don't know. He's like he goes out of town like every 2 weeks or like every other week or something. So I don't know. He's told me a million times like if they're holding a spot for somebody, then just go ahead and give it to him. So I don't know.
Nice, awesome. So what? So coming from NASCAR Heat, what do you like better about iRacing, or what did you like better about NASCAR?
I mean, NASCAR was all right. It was kind of like what it was at the time, but I'm glad I made the switch to iRacing. It's way better. Some people still call it a game, but I call it a sim. So
Grant, I'll appreciate that.
Right.
if
Yeah,
he's
just-
listening.
just like the feel of everything. I mean, I got the butt kicker going and all that stuff, and I just like the feel of the cars. It's fun.
So question. So with the butt kicker, how much of a difference have you actually seen, like going from not having it to after getting it?
So I just got into my new apartment probably a month ago, and I didn't have my butt kicker set up until yesterday. And honestly, for the past few weeks, I've been doing pretty bad. And I finished fifth. Fifth. Wow, here we go. fifth yesterday. So, we're just gonna act like the butt kicker did it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I've thought about getting one, just don't know. Rob was supposed to. I don't know. He had mentioned giving me his last year, but then Nick got it, so we won't talk about it. So, anyways, speaking of Racing
Mm-mm-mm.
Revolution and our league, how did you find us?
So I had a buddy, Dave Stanfield, which I mean, he kind of races here and there with us, not as much anymore. But he was like, "Hey, there's a good group of guys out here. You should come try out." And I did like the Tuesday practice session or whatever it was, and I was in after that, and I was, just amazed with the talent and everything like that. Of course, last year Rob was kicking everybody's ass, and he kind of still does, not as much this year. He does it, but that was kind of annoying. But it's fun to race against, good people that are clean people, and there's just good competition all over the track.
Man, you should have done the 2 seasons of Purgatory with us before
You
Yeah,
last
should.
season.
I'm
Because
glad I
we
did.
did a
So
season one Xfinity, he won half the races, like 5 of the 10 we ran, and then the league we ran before that, it was him and one other guy, like constantly.
yeah, I mean the fact that I took him out of the bracket yesterday, that pretty much made my whole season. So I'm good
Ooh,
with
I
that.
think that comes up here in a
Oh
minute, huh?
boy.
Okay.
I
Just
was actually going to
extortion
transition
right
into
there.
him, so that's okay. Well, since the cat's out of the bag, for the listeners, we decided to do a bracket, which I believe Nick is pulling up on screen right now for everybody to look at. That is the updated one, Nick.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
is the updated one as of yesterday. Um, but we actually wanted to cover some of this and what we're talking about. Basically, the way it's set up is Nick took everybody from their point standings as of what Monday night
After
or something
Talladega.
Yeah.
Yep.
after Talladega, and then that was the seed all the way down through with a couple variations I think for attendance and stuff, right, Nick?
Yes.
Um, and other than that, yeah. So everybody got their seed, and then they got matched up against, um, whoever they were going up against. And let me tell you, the racing changed yesterday, based upon, and I think the biggest upset we had here was actually our special guest. Um, I would put it in the top two or three. But yeah, let's talk a little bit after we put that bracket out. Everybody kind of like grabbed an extra gear on how they were going to race yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
challenge.
I was gonna say,
Sounds like
oh, here we go.
who's talking
I mean,
here?
I was gonna let Nick start that. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think 100%. You look at some of the guys that were paired with what we would think would be easy wins for everybody, and they took it in stride, saying, you know what, I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. B Rich did it, Jacob did it, Smoot almost did it. There was
Oof.
another one that did an upset one. I forgot who that
Mm,
was.
Wayne.
Wayne did it because Schaefer had issues.
Yeah.
Blake, oh yeah, Blake was going up against Alex. He did
Ooh.
it.
Yep.
But I think the biggest, the the two that I think we're gonna talk about the most would be Alex and Rob with their situations at Dover.
I think the crazy part for me was like everybody else. It was kind of a wide split. There was two pretty good battles. It was Jacob and Jeff. Jeff dropped anchor all night. I don't. He was way off. I don't. It was very weird to watch. But him and Jeff going back and forth. Jacob and Jeff, and then B Rich and Rob because Rob had the penalty. But then Caleb and Loveland. I mean, Caleb, that was the highest finishing duo. Caleb finishes third and gets knocked out. That was insane.
It's my teammate, man. Got the win. Advanced
Yeah.
in the bracket. What can you say?
Yeah, I'm
So
not super excited about it. I'm happy for James. Welcome back. I'm super glad you're back. And he's a great competitor, always race clean. But god damn it, it's just one more person that I have to worry about on a short track where
Uh,
I was starting to make big strides on um for myself, and then we just bring an absolute A class competitor back in, so it's gonna be even harder.
Well, the
Um
the good news though we can take out of this though is even though James won yesterday, he has missed more than 5 races, so he's not a
mhm.
lock into the playoffs. So he has to make it on points. So yeah, he might steal a couple of races here and there, but he's definitely not locked into the playoffs. He still has to point his way in, and he has a hill to climb for sure.
I do
Right.
want to talk about the fact that he's shooting 50% though.
Yeah.
That's massive.
He just so happened to his second race was his most dominant track
Yeah.
that he showed up to.
But if
I'm
we're going
just-
to talk about people getting screwed, though, in the bracket, ooh, the 92 car. I just
Oh
want to
yeah.
bring that up about his reverse number screwing him out of the bracket.
Brendan, you want to touch on what happened there, bud?
You should probably take that one first.
Yeah, I'll probably. I feel like this was coming anyways.
Gonna hit you with the hardest Q&A right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of talking to Justice through the whole thing, not blaming him, but he was kind of seeing what Smoot was doing, and he was like, just diamond your turns, you're gonna catch him. And I obviously didn't mean to wreck him. I went really low on the last turn, and I caught the apron, and I went up and hit him. But like, if I was gonna wreck him, I would have wrecked him, and I saved him. I guess he just didn't hang on to it, and Tay got under him, and that's that. Obviously, I kind of feel bad for it, but the bottom was open, sort of, so I don't.
I'm gonna use the analogy of, you remember when you were kids and like any of you that had siblings would be at the top of the stairs or something, and you would like grab your sibling and go, "Oh, saved your life!" Like as you're about to fucking
Yeah.
like push him
Yeah,
out.
I mean, that
That's
was
like
it.
the equivalent of what
Yeah,
happened. It was like you
exactly.
still scared the shit out of your sibling.
Yeah, he was like, "You wrecked
Uh,
me," and I'm like, "I really didn't wreck you. Like, I could have driven through you, but I kept you on the track. I didn't spin you, and he was really mad about it, but it just kind of is what it is. That was
So I'm
crazy.
gonna.
It was a great save on his part. Me and Justice spoke about this a little bit, and I 100% told if I was Smoot in that situation, I knew Tay was the next car behind me, I would have blocked the shit out of him for the last 100,
Yeah.
100
Yeah,
feet.
I'd have been track wide.
Yeah, I didn't think that Tay was that close to him to where it would be like a big deal. And then I saw the results, and that's why he was so mad. But I had no idea. I just thought he was mad because I moved in for fifth. But I guess it was more than that.
I tell you, I'm gonna clear my name here for B Rich blaming this on me.
No.
Being 9 laps down, I for the most part last night was just like out of everybody's way as best I could be. I was like on an opposite tire strategy, which I explained earlier, like in admin chat, so that when I got up to people, I could just fly by them because I had a tire advantage. As my tires wore out, they were getting new ones, come by me, whatever. Like it was all good. But on that last run, I was significantly faster than Smoot. Like I could have just driven away from him, but I slowed my pace down to dump dirty air on him because B Rich was like a second and a half behind him, and the only way he was going to catch him was if I kind of got him tight. So by dumping air on him, it just made him tight. And while I know that sounds like race manipulation, Chase Elliott at Bristol is proof that it's not a penalizable offense.
Yeah, I mean your name's not really that clear if that's what we're talking about here.
However,
You kind of just you literally just
however,
admitted it all.
I
But
Here
did
it
tell him, diamond in the corner, turn under him on exit, and next thing you know, I'm gonna turn under him right here on entry, and I'm like,
hey,
oh fuck.
I mean it was open, so you know. But I literally showed him the replay. Afterwards I made sure to kind of clip it and toss it to him, and he was all right after that, I guess. And then I had a little incident with Trevor earlier on, Trevor Keith, but that's a story for another time, I guess.
Speaking of incidents, I want to go over somebody who I saw come out of their shell a little bit in the voice comms during a race that I didn't see coming, and it actually took me by surprise a little bit. But that was the 40 car, or sorry, this year he's
54.
the 54.
54.
Sorry, of Caleb Gilbert, just kind of out of nowhere. Um, Justice, you wanna touch on that to kind of tell us your story on?
I'm probably not the one to touch on that because I was pretty
He was
pissed about
catching
the comment.
strays.
Yeah, well, no, I mean I was involved, but it was not like that. B Rich was also part of that, but yeah, I mean I was 9 laps down from the wreck before the stage. I had to get toe link repair, all that, but again, being on an opposite tire strategy, like when I was catching lead lap cars, I was faster than them, like way faster, so it was easy to get by. They didn't have to do anything like to get out of my way. I could just drive by them on any line. And then the same thing when they were catching me, I was just giving them the preferred line. Like I would just go high, go I'm out of the way. But after I made my last pit stop on with like 40 to go or 38 to go, something like that, I was catching up, and B Rich was involved as a part of this pack along with Caleb. And I went to drive underneath Caleb, and he like pinched me down to the bottom. And so it got my nose a little bit upset coming off the corner. So I lost my momentum, kind of dropped back behind him, and said, well, screw it, I'll just go around the high side. Um, so I go up high to go around him. He sent it underneath B Ridge at the same time. So we end up three wide. I'm around the top. And B Ridge kind of in the team chat was like, okay, no, it's good, it's good. Because I just flew around, like I had so much more grip. They could make the corner exit cleanly because I was already by them. So, but Caleb did key up and say something about me putting him in a bad situation, but seemed to pretty much instantaneously forget that he had just pinched me on the previous end of the track. So, I don't feel bad about it. I mean, yes, it sucks when a car that's 9 laps down or whatever, or laps down at all, is kind of racing on the track. But I mean, I literally, if I would have just left the race when I wrecked, I would have finished like 27th, ended up finishing 20th. So that's the reason you stay out there, and you have every right to be on the track, just like the lead lap cars.
Yep,
Hey,
very valuable points.
can we take a quick second to address why you were 9 laps down?
Oh, yeah,
It
there
gets
he
No, no, no.
goes.
Come on back.
There he
Come on back.
goes. Oh,
Hey,
so
you brought his teammate on, you know?
yeah.
how that turn 4 wall taste.
So Nick and I
I
discussed
lost
this.
talent, is what really
Nick
happened.
and I discussed this afterward because I'm always one, and Bennett knows this from being a teammate of mine and a friend for 14 years. Like in the moment, I get pissed, even though it's not. I know it's not intentional things that happen, but I'm better off like just sitting there not saying it. If I don't say anything to you, then you're better off than if I say something to you right away. Because Nick like instantaneously tried to apologize, but I was pretty pissed because I knew that Nick knew better than to do what he did. Like he knew he could have lifted a little bit more than that. But he tried to just drive it off the corner. That's what it was from my perspective. I think he admitted later that he thought it would grip up a little more, and so he jammed his brakes really late.
Yeah, I think like same thing with you and Trevor. We were frustrated for being as far back as what we were, and it kind of seemed like the couple of guys in front of us were holding us up a little bit. And obviously we knew we were fast. We just literally dicked it on qualifying. And anyway, I went high on Kevin in 3 and 4, and what would have worked 99% of the time didn't end up working, and I tried to recorrect it later than what I should have, and I slammed into the wall. And unfortunate, Justice was directly right underneath me. We were too close for me to catch it off the wall, and when you hit the wall going basically 100 plus miles an hour, you just basically screw the guy that's underneath you. And it's luckily enough that me and Justice are good enough friends to understand that neither of us would ever do anything in like that intentional. So once the air clears and everyone's hot heads are done, we both come to realization that it was a mistake, and that obviously I didn't mean to do what I did, and obviously I was sorry about it. But
No, it was intentional.
I ended up just
Yeah,
fucking I ended up fucking one of the guys I have the most respect for in the league.
Yeah,
Go
I
I was
back
think
and
just
watch,
the
I was wanting to hear a sorry. That's all. We were good.
go
the
back and watch the
yeah.
broadcast. It looks 100%
the
intentional.
the broadcast though, because I thought the same. Like I didn't watch the replay last night while I was still in the session, but the broadcast, I thought, well, maybe I got like really tight on Nick's door, like I was closer up than I should have been. But no, I mean the broadcast showed I got off the corner and was like a foot off of him, which is a lot of room at Dover. When you're coming off the corner, like
Not
it's
when
a
the
very
outside
tight
guy hits
exit.
the wall.
It's
Yeah.
not a lot of room in the outside guy hits the wall, but yeah, and Patrick basically instantaneously was like, yeah, golly, it's Justice again. Him and Rob can't catch a break this season. That's it's just kind of the way my season's gone. I'm at this point kind of hunting wins because points are probably not going to get me in. It'll be very tight because I know there's at least one race I'm going to miss again that would be a big points day for me more than likely at the Chicago Street Course. So yeah, it's one of those things. We're hunting wins, see if we can get them, but if not, it's just a season of very bad luck. You just take and run with it. Sometimes it happens.
Speaking of wins and dominance, really, let's talk about Tire Slayer Racing. And I'll kick this over the El Capitan of the whole team there, Trevor.
Let's not say
Dude,
dominance, okay? We don't have to put the D
well,
word
I
in the
mean,
team
here.
so
Here's what
far.
we're
I
gonna we're
mean,
gonna we're gonna
Loveland wasn't
use it.
exactly dominating that race.
no.
No, we're gonna talk about how they did at the end though,
Mhm.
and how two of them got on the podium. You can say whatever you want. I didn't necessarily dominate Richmond either, but
Yeah, let's
me
Right
and
place,
let's
right
let's go
Berube,
time.
back to talk about
hey,
that one.
me and Berube finished on the fucking 1 and 2, baby. So now you same thing happened with you. How was it? Talk about your race and you and James.
Uh, you know it sucked at the beginning being back there with
Me.
Justice and just being back in the back of the field in general. I mean, it's so hard to make a pass around Dover with how the car drives. I'm surprised we made it up as far as we did as quickly as we did. And then it was really good, at least for me, up until that lap 130 pit stop we made. And then after that, it's kind of the same thing that happened to me last season there. I just lost all handle on the car and just got plowing tight regardless of what I did the last two runs. But what was really funny was I was faster than Loveland was there for a little while and got around him, ran down Burns before the first green flag pit stop we made. And then he and I switched positions after that, and we were just talking. We're like, "Hey, we're just gonna run our race, and then hope the guys in front of us have bad luck and see what happens." And lo and behold, that last green flag pit stop, I come rolling down pit road, and I hear an admin chat, "Rob, why are you still sitting on pit road?" Nick asked Rob that. Rob says that he speeds, and all of a sudden, all I hear is Nick yelling, "Berube just hit the tires." So I just keyed up in our team chat and was like, "Hey, Loveland, Rob sped, Berube's wrecked. You got this in the bag. Like I'm just gonna ride in second and hold on." And got it done. And for our team, that's 2 wins this season. Obviously, Parker and Schaefer had a pretty rough run of it at Dover, but they've got top 10, top 15 speed week in, week out. So I expect to see both of them recover really well. And as a team, I think we're having a pretty good season so far. So I can't complain.
I'll tell you, you definitely got a big points getter back on the roster off the injured list, dude. Because yeah, first race out, just a dub. There it is, massive.
Second race out. All right, he did
Sorry,
run well
He
at
first
Bristol
ran
race
Dirt.
third.
after
Yeah.
the because what he went back.
He
He
came back
came
for Bristol
back.
Dirt, and then he was sick at
He was
Talladega.
sick at Dega.
Oh, okay, yeah. So second race out. Yep. Can't ask for much more than that.
No, no, batting 50%, man. What more could you
Yeah.
ask for?
Just proof, though. All you have to do is set yourself up for the right thing. It's all about execution in the end. You put yourself. Same thing with me at Homestead last season. I mean, I was
Yeah.
probably gonna run second if that stays green. It ends up catching a caution. We all go get tires. Trevor and Rob get into each other on the restart, and I'm just there. Turned it into a winning situation. So you have to execute and let the others around you. Um, Fall off. If they don't, you just take your whipping and go on.
Talking about execution, me and Bennett had a teammate that was executing that race to perfection. And actually, the first green flag stop that you guys had, Alex knew he wasn't going to pit first. He was going to wait for Rob, who was in second at the time, to pit, and he was going to pit a lap after him. He ends up coming in a lap after. Me and Bennett are literally in his ear telling him, "Hey, remember, don't speed. Hit your marks coming like there's a little bridge right before turn 3. As soon as you brake under that bridge, keep the brakes on, slowly transition down to the apron, because if you transition too early, you're going to spin it out." And then obviously, so funny enough, the first green flag pit stop, I'm coaching him through because I'm out of the race already. And I'm like, "All right, Brube, good job." I'm like, 45 miles an hour pit speed, 45 miles an hour pit speed. Bang to me, "No, it's not. It's 35. It's 35. It's 35." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." So anyway, he executes the first green flag pit stop. Great, comes out. He ends up recycling back to the lead. Rob ended up began past him, but he ended up getting like another 6.5, 7 second lead before the second green flag pit stops. So we come to green flag pit stops the second time around. Now, Alex already knows in the back of his mind he's done this once already. He knows where he has to brake. He knows how to enter into the pit road. Rob pits. He says he's gonna pit the next lap. He comes around. He says, "No, I'm not pitting. I'm going too fast. I'm not gonna brake enough time." I said, "Perfect, dude. You overshot it. Now you know to back it up a little bit, and you can do it." This is all we heard in team chat. I'm like, "All right, Berube, here you go. You execute it. This is him. He's slowly turning in. I can see him braking. I'm like, he's going a little fast, but not fast enough. I think he can still make it." He's like, oh yeah, I fucked it. I'm like, Berube goes, I know. I'm like, how bad is it? He's like, how? I'm like, how bad is it? He's like, it's fucked. It's fucked. It literally
It's fucked.
smoking down all pit road. That's all he pits. He goes,
Uh,
normally when you smoke or you break a toe link or anything, it's usually just like a 40-second required. This guy pulls in and he's like, I have 40 minutes required. And we're like, wait, what did you just say?
40
He's like,
minutes.
I have 40 minutes of
Yep.
required. And
Boy,
that was it.
man.
That
Can we
was it.
just talk
Fuck
about how that's
dude.
been 2 years in a row he's thrown away the same race?
Yep.
Under the
Yeah.
same circumstance, green flag pit stops.
Yep.
Yep.
2
Get
years in
you
a
every
row.
time. That was the same thing, and B Ridge can attest to this. I was coaching Jacob. Poor B Ridge probably felt like the redheaded stepchild because I was coaching Jacob through the race. But I know of all my teammates, that's the one that needs the most help. But
Oh no,
we
that's messed up.
There it is.
we had that
There it is.
we had that
Oh,
caution
God.
on
Oh, man.
caution on like lap 83, and Jacob was like what B Ridge probably 20th at the time, 21st,
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
he was back there. Yeah.
And he goes, "What am I doing?" I said, "You're doing what everybody in front of you does." And then he's like, "Well, everybody stand, everybody stand." I said, "Go pit, 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 pit." And he pits. And I said, "Listen, this race normally, like, if it gets strung out, we're going green like the rest of the way." So I said, "You can sell your soul on you take tires here, you run back up through the field." I said, "And then you just go on the same tire strategy as Berube the rest of the way, or as Loveland and Rob and whoever else said that way you're on their tire strategy and you've got track position back." So he did. He ran all the way from 20th up to the lead, led a couple laps, and then started pitting on their strategy. I really think that's what ended up advancing him in the bracket. But he was sold on. I mean, he pitted with like 37 to go and had no more tires. So if we get a wreck at any point on that, he was screwed.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that whole pit. Sorry, Richardson,
No,
not
you're
to
good. You're good.
cut
You're
you
good.
off, but that whole pit strategy on 83, like we talked about it in our team chat and decided it was a bad idea because of the tire sets that we
Tires.
had left, and if there's a late race caution, you're SOL. Was
Mhm.
our whole thought process and why we all stayed out.
That's what we did too. We
For
wanted that extra set.
for Jacob, it was a net. It had to be a net positive situation. And honestly, he fucked himself on the last pit stop because he didn't realize that iRacing set it to auto fuel. So he was like, "Are they not going to fill my car up?" And he sat on pit road for like an extra 3 seconds, like in his box, or else he would have ended up probably getting a top 10 out of it. But I mean, he was probably going to be mired like 18th. Like he was not going to get any further up than that. So he had to sell his soul to that strategy, or else just follow the leader and finish 18th, which was, not a good answer in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it worked out pretty well for him. You know, he was happy to lead a lap. I mean, we were all happy for him. And then, you got Wayne Lowe that texted us, what, like 30 minutes before the race, and he was saying he was sick. And I mean, he powered through the whole race, so props to him, because I wasn't feeling great at Bristol, and I just left. I'm gonna be honest with you. So he's probably a better teammate than me at that point. So props to him for finishing the race.
Yeah, it was nice. Jacob actually gave me a fucking heart attack during the race because I was in team chat and focusing on because Dover was not my strong suit whatsoever. I knew going into this race, I was like, if I can get a top 15 or even top 16, right? Like I just keep looking at like, hey, top 16, make it to the playoffs, right? And even though I got the win, I still want to be safe because there's a very good chance that we have more than 16 winners with the way the season's going. Nobody's repeating. We have one repeat winner. So it could very well go that way. So I'm sitting there focusing on my own ship, and all of a sudden the other slurp car passes me like I'm standing fucking still. And I was like, I'd like audibly in my chat was like, there's no fucking way Jacob is that much faster than me. Like, or anybody in this race is that much fucking faster than me. And just not even, I was so tunnel vision on what I was doing. And then I got Robinson in my ear, and he's like, dude, he pit on the same fucking lap you did. Like, same lap that you pit, he pit. And I was like, there's no way, dude. Like, you're high, bro. And then finally, like, I think Nick said something. He was like, nope, he pit 20 laps later than you. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was literally about to pull off and just leave. I was like, there's no need for me to be here. If everybody's gonna pass me like that, I'm just getting in everybody's way. But it scared the shit out of me.
I wish you would have heard him in team chat because he was so happy that he was passing everybody. He's like, "Holy shit, I'm passing
I
everybody
bet.
like they're standing still." And I'm also glad you brought up Robinson because he gave me a pretty good shot, and luckily I saved it. But we're cool now. But that was definitely interesting. I was a little ticked in team chat about that, but we're good.
He was not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when your captain's that way too, so I mean, I could see how
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Was my team the
Yeah.
only team that really came out of Dover fairly happy? I mean, I had 2 pissed off drivers, but 2 really happy drivers out of all
I
of them.
think
Out of the out of the
I
percentage of the team that was happy, yes, you guys came out on top
Yeah.
with 50%.
yeah, I mean my guys, the other 3 of them finished like top 14. So I think B
I
Rich
think
finished 5th, Wayne finished
Yeah.
like what 8th or something like that, and then Jacob finished like 13th or 14th. So it was just me that probably was the least happy.
our team came out with the most knowledge about what we need to do moving forward. I
Yeah, you
think
need to
so.
teach Berube how to make green flag pit stops at
Uh,
Dover before we go there again.
Dude,
yeah,
I
100%.
look, he swore to me he got the American pedals. He must have still been doing the French ones. I can't confirm it or deny it. I'm
Tell
not
him it's
gonna.
miles an hour, not kilometers an hour.
There you go.
That was
I'm just
probably
gonna say
fucked
this.
too.
I left admin review last night and walked into a freaking private ass conversation amongst the teammates over there at Performance. So, or
Yeah,
at least 2 of the 4.
we took a lot away from how Dover impacted us as a team, and what we can do to be better in the future. So I don't think you're gonna see 3 of us go out in a race again, anytime soon. That
I
was
mean,
that
there's
was the
super
most shocking
speedways
part.
where that's an option.
I
It
100%
maybe
expect
those.
Berube to fuck up on pit road next time we go to Dover. 100%.
Yeah,
I
mean,
will go ahead
numbers
and
don't
put
lie.
I will go ahead and put $100 on that bet that he does not fuck it up next year.
He's batting 1,000 right now.
Dude.
Yeah,
All right, take the odds, bro. What's up,
I mean, there's got to be a time where you're like, okay, enough's enough. You know.
you
dude?
would
I
think,
mean,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
next time we
No,
go to Dover, I'm in this fucking kid's ear like a guardian angel, like telling him to shut this
dude,
fucking
we're fucking.
focus.
Yeah, we're on the apron before we enter 3
We're,
next
we're
year.
watching we're
Like if
watching
anything,
tape
do it
like the
do
week
it
before.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
Loveland said that he was fucking going in before 3
yeah,
and
I
just
came
coasting
in.
around. Dude, there's no reason when you have that big of a lead that you don't do that and
I was
just
coming in
get
right
there.
before turn 3. I'd get on the apron, make sure I was down there, so you didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I saw that barrel, and as soon as I saw that barrel, I was slowing down and ducking in. I was fine.
Yep. He'll get it. He'll get it. He'll sneak in a win at where do we win last year? Pocono?
Pocono. He'll
Or
wait for the
something?
top 2 to
Yeah,
wreck and
he'll
do like a whole circus act, and he'll drive right by.
hey, what we got to do to get
He'll
the win?
wreck me from 7th again.
Well, you got to worry about next week, me wrecking you, because
Hey,
I think
Kansas.
yeah, because I got back to the bracket. You're who I'm going up against. The teacher and the student, and it's come after 2 years. What about 2 years of us doing iRacing together? So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna practice Kansas a fuck ton and not tell you shit about it.
Hey, Bennett.
But
Bennett, do you want me to wreck
what?
him again?
Nope.
Yeah.
No. I don't.
You
If
know-
anybody, if any PSA, if anybody wrecks Justice and it's not fucking me next week, I'm fucking wrecking you. Because if there's any fucking excuse as to why I beat him next week, I will never fucking hear the end of it.
See, but
Okay.
the funny part is you can't exclude this minute. there's nobody else that hypes you up the way I do when you beat my ass. So
No, I'll
I
give you
take
that.
pride in that.
I'll give you that. Yeah, you've never strayed away from definitely hyping me up or anything. But next week's personal for me. It's gonna be fun. It's not, we're not gonna do anything ill will, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good um measure for me to see where I've come in 2 years. So it's gonna be fun. You guys got anything
Better
else you want to talk
qualify
about?
well.
I probably fucking won't. But
That goes
we'll
for
see.
everybody. I don't
Uh,
care who you are.
uh, Anybody else want to touch on Dover? Closing thoughts. Nothing more about Berube. He's probably already feeling it enough.
Yeah.
Rob's a hack,
Bad
can't
bad
figure out
luck.
how to get down pit road.
Bad luck
Yeah,
for
I
Rob
mean,
continues as well.
I basically have to thank Rob for, taking his own self out of that. But I mean, that's just kind of how it is sometimes. Like, Justice was in my ear, like, hey, Rob sped on pit road. It's a big hold. Just hold it on the track and you're good. And I feel like the next lap I hit the wall. And I'm like, here we go. I'm gonna butcher this shit,
I I
Dude,
literally was like, Beard, just don't. I'm like, just execute, make your laps,
Yeah.
don't fuck it up. Like, all you have to do is stay on the track. Like, he can't make up both laps on you.
Yeah.
yeah, that happened to me with Kevin. I was gaining on Kevin there with probably 5 to go on that long run we were doing, and I knew Grant was gonna end up catching me and pass me, but it was right there. Like Robinson said something to Kevin, and Kevin was like, "No, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the guy behind you," and it was me. And then I mean, not even a fucking lap later, like he said something about, or I told him I was like, "Hey, come back here. Let's do this properly." Like, let's race it out and see how it goes. He was like, "No, I'm not getting anywhere near you," and made some joke about the wall. And then I'll be fucking damned, dude. A lap later, I fucking hit it coming out of 4, and just it fucked my steering wheel all up. Like I couldn't get the car to turn.
Oh, poor Bennett. During one of those pit cycles, when I was talking about being 9 laps down and just the tire cycles, whatever. Bennett flies by me on a tire cycle, like my tires are or whatever. And I'm like, damn, you didn't have to hit the wall. And he goes, nobody would have known.
Yeah. I remember that. He's
Every
like, you didn't have to call it out like that.
Yep, yep. I was
And
like
then
thanking
and then
him.
I passed him back with a tire advantage later. He goes, let's see if you can get off the corner without hitting the wall.
Uh,
Oh, it was
Update,
fun.
he
But
did way better than I did. So, all right, moving on to Kansas. What Nick, start with you. How you feeling about Kansas?
Well, the preview of Kansas is gonna look like it's gonna suck. And when I mean suck, it's not we're gonna suck, it's the track is gonna suck. Because the few officials that we've done already so far, it looks like it's basically just a train on the top line. What it looks like. I mean, the first few laps it's going to look like 2x2 for a little bit, but you're going to see the bottom lane just going to keep backing up because you can't pass on the bottom unless the guy you're trying to pass on the outside is by himself. If there's a guy in front of him or if there's a guy behind him, there's no way and there's no room for you to try to slide job him, get up after the corner. There's absolutely no way. So I think it's going to be top dominant track. I think this is going to be the one races where qualifying is going to be key. And I think what you saw last year at Kansas, where Caleb locked himself into the championship four, is not going to happen. I think it's going to be basically, I'm going to say, coming down to it, I think there's going to be three guys. I don't know what three guys, just there's going to be three guys in general. They're going to stay in a line the whole time, and that's how it's going to be decided. And unfortunately, the way they are with 5 to go is the way they're going to be coming to the checker flag, I think.
yeah, I think we were already, as Christopher Bell said last week, driving a gutless engine. And then they went ahead and further ruined it this season by limiting the revs another 3 to 400 RPMs when you're basically chipping it. So it made it very unbearable in the official. I think I qualified 12th, fell back, trying to. I was like, well, hell, I'll save tire, and then I'll just use my tire advantage, kind of ride the middle to bottom, slide up, pass people. That was nearly impossible. I fell all the way back to 25th. Drove back up to like 12th because you just have idiots that don't know how to handle cars trying to pass them. But got up to 12th, two people wrecked in front of me. Otherwise, I wasn't going to get by them. Finished 10th. So, yeah, it's not going to be, I think, a ton of fun. It's going to be a battle of patience. And we will see. I think there's an announcement coming with some big money on the line for that race. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, where you qualify is going to be very important. How you come out of the stage pitting cycle, how well you green flag pit. Really and truly, if we can run everything after the stage under green flag conditions, it's probably the best way you're going to get racy. Is after green flag pit stops as the field spreads out a little bit, and you can kind of get single car on single car action.
Richardson, how you feeling about going into Kansas?
I'm a little iffy. Kind of like you said earlier. Like you said, you were feeling all right about Kansas because you ran decent at Vegas. I'm not sure exactly where I finished, but I know I finished in the top 5. Um, and so I'm gonna do some officials this week. And I got news for you boys. My girlfriend's kind of new here, but she's like out of town for the next week, so I have literally no excuse not to run officials to be decent. So if I suck on Wednesday, you guys can give me all the shit that you could ever think
I
of
know the
because
first
I
comment
deserve
I'm
it.
hitting you with. I know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
You cannot stop yourself. It's okay.
No, I can't.
Uh,
I won't. I won't say it. I'll save it for the right time.
For a
yeah.
rainy day.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
For a
I think
rainy
it's gonna
day.
be fun. I've had a bad couple races besides Dover, so I'm gonna try to, practice. And it seems like when I practice a little bit, it pays off. Like I actually put in a little bit of work yesterday. Like Justice was kind of helping me. I got on at like 5:30 or so, and he was kind of, streaming or like sharing my screen or whatever, and telling me what to do different, and it helped a lot. Just like, Bennett kind of said that he helped you with Richmond and things like that. So apparently we all need to listen to Justice, which I mean he's my teammate, so I'm good with that. So I have a good feeling about Kansas.
He's a hack.
Now,
I refuse to listen to him.
I'm gonna say this, Richardson. Do you know how they test how well a track is rubbered in?
I'm gonna go with no.
This is a
They
joke.
squirt lemon juice on it and see like if it'll soak in or
There
not.
it is. Okay.
Lemon juice, huh? That's what they use?
Yeah,
There.
yeah,
That's
lemon
weird.
Oh,
juice.
that's weird. That's a
All
good
right.
one. I might have to save that one.
I've never heard that
Yeah.
before. I'm gonna tell the guys
Well,
to
yeah, you should
work
have
on
them
that.
tested. Yeah, see if the concrete's good there for June.
Stella, can we get a fact check, please?
Oh God.
Yo,
Hey, I
this
guarantee
literally
you
just
she's
gets worse.
Googling that.
Yeah, where this is
She'll
getting worse
listen to
and
the
worse.
pod, Google that, and she's gonna bring that up on
Oh,
the
Oh
broadcast
no.
next
how do
week.
tracks get rubbered in? This
This
lemon
is like
juice.
this is terrible because I'm like, hey, I want you to listen to the podcast, but she's gonna be like, why the fuck is lemon juice like the hot topic? And I'm like, I don't know. So thank you
That's
Uh,
how
guys.
that's how they test if tracks
it's
get
how they
rubbered
test if
in.
they're rubbered in,
It's a
right?
part
Yeah.
of racing.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Yeah.
Trevor, moving on. How you feeling about it?
thank God.
Fairly good. I mean, I'm gonna run the NIS race here in about 10 minutes and get an idea of it. From what I've heard from Justice and Nick, it's absolute trash and horse shit. So definitely looking forward to the next grueling 2 hours of my life trying to figure it out. But ran well at Vegas. I think there's gonna be a couple guys up at the front that we're gonna have to do battle with all race long and play your cards right. I think a little bit of tire strategy might be in the books and might see us sneak out of there kind of like we did at Chicagoland. Who knows?
All right. Well, speaking of NIS happening pretty soon, let's get on to the part that is my favorite, and let's pick some winners.
And your dark
Uh,
horse.
Does, does
and the
that mean
dark
I
horse.
does that mean I get to go first because I
Absolutely
picked the
not.
winner? I picked the winner.
Special
Absolutely
guest.
Oh
not.
Special
I'm
guest.
man.
sorry. I'm sorry. Are you the guest of the
Oh,
podcast?
And
No.
it
this
is also the
No.
first time the
Okay.
Now,
winner was actually
it's the
picked.
first time
now,
somebody's
Yeah.
picked the winner.
we'll talk about it in a sec. We'll let you go second. Okay, I was gonna go second because fuck going last. Everybody picks your stuff. I don't want to do that again.
you can go
But
third.
Justin,
I'll
you can
go
go
last.
second. Okay. So Richardson, obviously you listen to the podcast. You know how this goes. One winner one dark horse, and then do we want to add anything fun in this week on what we're picking? Okay.
Nah,
So
it's nothing.
winner and dark horse. Who you got?
Okay, so it kind of pains me to say this, but I feel like Rob's gonna win. Like
Fuck.
I can't help it. Like the guy's been freaking snake bitten, like even by his own accord the whole year.
That's
Like
my
it's
pick.
it's got to be freaking Rob. You know.
This isn't
And
me scrolling through the members list.
no, you're good. And like I would probably
Uh,
say dark horse. I'd probably give either Berube or Justice a good shot.
You gotta pick one. Can't
All
have
right, I'm
both.
gonna go
pick
Justice.
one.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go Justice.
Picking
Yeah,
Justice.
2 weeks in a row, I get picked as the
Cool.
upset winner.
Cool, yeah. Just pick like two upper tier drivers, the people who haven't won yet this year that are due,
Yeah, well, I
and
can't
just
pick
make it easy
myself,
on the rest of
okay?
us.
Because like I haven't won in this league so far. Because if I like pick myself, that's weird.
Well, you
So
can't pick yourself.
Well, you can't pick
regardless.
yourself.
okay, well
Sorry,
there
I
you
didn't
go.
go over the
So
rules. You can't
okay,
pick
see?
yourself, and you can't pick somebody who's already been
We got to
picked.
go over all this
Yeah.
stuff before I get on.
Yeah,
That's your
that's
fault.
All
Ugh,
right.
there it is.
So, as
Shut
the
the-
first person to properly pick the winner this season, I'm going to pick one. I think it's not a surprise. I would have picked Rob. I picked Rob actually a few podcasts back. I said that Kansas, he either wins at Kansas or he doesn't win until sometime during June. So, since I can't pick Rob, I'm going to take Rob's teammate. I will pick the 54 car of Caleb Gilbert. Who is
Dick.
always good at these tracks. The only mile and a half I've seen him not be like just really good at was Charlotte, which was weird. But yeah, I'll take him. And then I guess my dark horse winner, you can give me Kevin Orlando.
Ooh, spicy.
Spicy.
Popping
Yep.
off
Yep.
the top. All right. Well, I'm gonna go next, and I think I'm gonna go with the 77 of Grant Thorpe. Somebody who I think, even though he got Bristol Derp, but I still think he's due one on asphalt, and I could see one of these mile and a halves where it takes a little bit more ability than some of these tracks. You see the 77 come out on top here. Um, Dark horse, I'm gonna go with the 22 carp of Travis Gilbert. Somebody who's consistently fast week in and week out, and I think just
He won't be there.
what? Oh, he won't be there?
No.
Fuck!
More than likely.
Damn it! Do I have to pick somebody else?
Yes.
I mean, you can
Go
keep him,
again.
but he's not gonna
Yeesh,
show
all
up.
right. Well,
He'd be a real dark horse winner to
Yeah.
consider he's
That
not
would
showing
be
up.
the darkest
Yeah.
of dark.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna turn around and go with our guest then. I'm gonna go with
Oh,
Ritchison.
okay.
Ooh,
I'll,
Thanks.
I'll I'll pick him. You can't pick
There
you.
it
I'll
is.
pick you.
the
Um,
pressure's on.
Attaboy.
yeah.
Yep.
Pressure's
There we
on.
go.
Let's see what you got. I picked
Thank you.
Burns, and he was like,
Thank
"You
for
got
the-
it," and then fucked
I'm
it.
the second dark horse. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
All right.
I'm going last, so.
Okay,
go for
cool.
it.
Because I don't think you're gonna pick either of my guys. Actually, I know one person you're gonna pick. Anyway, so my winner, he's actually a sponsor on the race. I'm gonna go with Ray Lane. I know he's driving style. He's a little hot-headed, but it is his race. I know he's good and fast at Kansas, so I think he's gonna come out on top this week. As for my dark horse, however, I think I'm gonna go with another teammate of someone in this chat that we're currently looking at right now. Well, he's over here for me. I don't know where he is for you guys. I'm gonna go with Chris Schaefer to come out on top
Let's
for
go,
my dark
Schaefer.
horse.
I was like, you pointed at me.
Schaefer's
So,
got speed. Schaefer's like got sneaky top 10 speed every week, man. I got to give him credit. He's a hell of a teammate to have. He's hilarious. So, I'm gonna go with my teammate in James Loveland. I think he's gonna go back
Oh,
to
Parker
back.
Johnston, way to go!
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
poor
No,
PJ.
yeah. Hey, look, Parker's great. I love the kid. He's having bad luck this season. He's having a justice type of season. Seems like he's caught up in something
He's
every week.
not having that kind of luck. Oh,
Yeah.
He's having some bad luck. He had a good run at Talladega, but no, I'm gonna go with Loveland to go back to back. He's always quick in mile and a halves, regardless of where we go. So I think he gets it done and starts eating away at that points gap that he has to make it into the playoffs. And then you already know who I'm picking for my dark horse. I said I was going to pick him until he is utterly dog shit at something.
oh, here it is.
I gotta go with Trevor Keith. I gotta do it. I told him I'd stick with him until he's utter dog shit. He got wrecked last night. At
Ho 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 ho
Dover.
ho.
We didn't say by who.
I
We didn't say
mean,
by who, but now we
Yeah,
know.
Here's the
I
bad
mean,
news.
How we
He
know?
was involved in an incident last night at Dover.
Look,
The only
that was
reason-
cleared by Nick. Okay, he said it was
Here's
like
the,
net
here's
code
the
or
bad
some
news
shit, all right?
for Trevor Keith. Which car has gotten wrecked by two high-level cars this season in real life? Which car number?
15.
Oh, the 15.
15
Yeah.
both times. J.J. Yaley at Richmond by Denny Hamlin, and Dover this weekend, Brendan Poole by
By Ross.
fucking, yeah.
Yeah, but
I
see,
don't even want to say his name. I hate that motherfucker.
I think Keith can
There
do
it
it.
is.
I
Hey,
got
Ross.
faith. I got faith
Yeah.
in Keith, man. I got faith, and I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick to it until he utterly proves me wrong, man. But I got
I'm fucking
faith in
picking him
kid.
next week.
You fuck! I swear to God.
He's
Make
fast,
you
man.
pick somebody else.
I think I want to say he was relatively quick at
He
Vegas,
was.
if I remember right.
Yeah.
And so I got
He's been
faith
pretty
in
quick
him.
everywhere, but he
been-
can't keep the fucking car in one piece.
He's got the 18 fucking complex going on. He can't fucking get out of his own
Trevor,
way.
listen here, figure it out. You've got speed. Get the fuck up there.
Stay away
Oh,
from the 29.
yeah.
Isn't
Who's he?
who,
Who's he
And
got in the bracket?
24.
what team is he on, Trevor Keith?
don't
Isn't he on
know.
someone's team?
He's on Go for Broke, isn't he? He's on Kevin's team.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. It's a bad team to be on if you're trying to use some tire strategy.
There's two of those.
Oh, there's only one person on this guy's. Hold on.
Who you
This
just
guy's
say a
team.
name, Nick? You can't
Trevor's
point.
like
on Trevor's
You're
team.
pointing at Bennett on my screen, so
You're
Hey,
pointing at
yeah.
nobody on my
Who-
screen.
Hey,
Who
so-
am I pointing at? Because I'm pointing at Trevor on my
You're
screen.
You're
pointing
pointing
at
at
Nick.
Nick on mine.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
yeah.
Everybody
Look,
quit
now I'm
fucking
pointing
pointing.
at Nick.
Jesus, it's,
I'm pointing
Everybody
Right.
on YouTube.
Look,
Everybody on
Regular
YouTube
cars.
is gonna think we're stupid. Knock it off.
Too late. Oh, yeah, I mean.
All right.
Ooh.
One thing I do want to go over last real quick before, because I know we got to get you guys off the NIS. I want to talk about on the bracket challenge. What do you think is going to be the best matchup that we have from people who moved on from Dover?
I gotta go look at it. Hold on.
Yeah, same
So
here.
I can read it out for you too.
Oh,
We
so
got Jeremy and Tay.
I was looking at this earlier, and I think I already had my pick. But go ahead, you can say it.
Yeah. So we got Jeremy and Tay facing off. We've got Jackson Lomax and Nick Alps. We've got myself and Justice, which we've talked about. We've got Berger and Grant Thorpe. Loveland and Jacob Serkovich. Kevin Orlando, Brandon Dunford. Blake Cook, and our lovely guest here, Ritchison. And then Wayne Lowe and Trevor.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
go
to
right
say
off the
this so
rip.
that somebody doesn't fuck this. Burger will not be at
Yeah,
Kansas.
he won't show up. But I think
Yeah, hey.
Orlando and Dunford is gonna be the.
I was just about to say
battle.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Yep.
I'm going to say Wayne and Trevor.
I'm gonna say Justice and Bennett.
That'll be a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
I'm
too.
gonna also say Burns and Tay. If Tay can keep the speed up the entire race, he's always quick.
Yeah,
So
he
if he can
drops
manage,
pissed off too.
yeah. So and yeah, I mean he's that could be a good one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Orlando and Dunford. I mean, Dunford's been quick all season, and Orlando always hangs around. So
You and
that would
Blake
be
are
my
gonna
one.
be good too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shit on him.
If Blake shows up. Oh, fun
Yeah.
fact,
Oh,
really
yeah.
quick before we sign off here. Bye, Trevor.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
still
So-
here. I don't.
Oh, okay.
The YouTube
So-
doesn't need a crotch shot of me as I'm changing
So,
monitor.
so
All right,
anyway,
there we go.
Alex, when we were talking about who was going up against last night, we were all talking about who we're going up against, and I'm like, Alex, who are you going up against? He goes, oh, I'm going up against Blake Cock. And I'm like, what?
Oh,
He's like, yeah, Blake
There
Cock.
it is. There it is.
Apparently, his French Canadian accent and the way they say that name is cock.
this is why it's After Dark.
We
It
also
is, yeah.
found
That's
out
right,
what.
RR After Dark.
Yeah, we also I think that's one thing that Alex doesn't get enough credit for is his translations. That absolutely surprised the shit out of me. The voulez-vous coucher avec whatever the fuck it was, is dude. Do you guys know what she's
Well, I know
saying in
what
the song?
Arzwa means.
Yeah,
I know
I mean,
Well,
what
no,
that means.
it's would you sleep with me tonight? That's
Hmm.
what she fucking says in the whole song, the
Yeah, I
whole
need to
time.
use that. Yep. Okay.
Dude, tell me about it. I figured this out last night.
Hey, give B Rich that translation to be used in that
Okay.
8 days.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna need it
Uh,
now with this podcast. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
he's
need
gonna
some.
definitely
I'm
he's
gonna
gonna
need
need
some
to put
whining
that
and
back in the
dining.
dating profile.
Yeah.
I'll try and figure out how to. I'll get Barube to translate what they use the rubber in the
That's
tracks
great.
with too. I'll try and get that
Thank you.
figured out too.
Appreciate that. There it
All
is.
right, guys. As we come to the
Uh,
checker flag here, so we get these guys off to their races. Richardson, obviously, man, thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys having me. Um, it's always a good time hanging out with you guys. Like I said before, um, wow, my iRacing's fucking up. Best league I've ever been a part of, hands down. Even with the comments, and we didn't actually cover this real quick, but making me miss the choose cone last night, I appreciate that. So keep the comments to
Damn, I was
yourself
gonna
from
let it
now on.
go.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
There was a little rubber on the track down there. I could see how you missed it.
Yes,
It
yes,
probably
there was
it
some lemon
darkened.
juice down there.
Yeah, darkened
Yep,
the box. I could
yep,
see that. So,
yep.
all
I
right,
was
guys.
honest about it though.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
All right,
Peace
see
out.
you guys
Guys.
later.
All right.
See ya.
Peace.